Alrighty, there we go. Welcome with bells on. They're here. My family. You're here. Welcome. Welcome to another installment of your Quantum Weekly Reading, seeing what's going on with the collective, tuning in with my family. Is that broken glass? I don't know how, I don't know why, but I found broken glass. All right. So that's happening. Gather on in. Let's do this. We are going to first touch base on some words. I love the etymology. I love fine-tuning the spell that we craft every day to further gain power over our reality instead of our reality having power over us. So a few words have come up recently just to point out the validations with the fact that these words are spells. And some of them are very disgusting spells. Some of them are very weird spells. Some of them are empowering spells. And some of them, the definition doesn't match with what the mashed together sentence says. Sometimes we think a word is a bad word, or we hear this word and our brain has been programmed to think one thing when it means something else. The best example I can give you, just in case you missed that episode, is menace. I just think it's really comical. It says men ace, like this is an ace among men. So of course, certain people in certain situations, in certain positions of trying to control, could use this word, and it sounds like, oh, this person's really bad. Like you hear the word menace, and it's like, oh my God, it's so bad. Same thing with mistress. Like this is mistress. Like this isn't your wife. This is your mistress. This is mistress. I thought that one was pretty comical in itself as well, because like I said, some of them are almost funny. They really are almost funny. And that one like goes across languages. Like some of this stuff goes across languages, and it's like the equality between sexes, aside from between races, of course, that goes without saying. Even a baby knows that. But the equality between sexes, this is something that is still different across the world. Like just for example, and I might be off on this. If somebody knows how to write in Mandarin, I believe this is the symbol. Is that the symbol for a woman? I might be off here. But all I know is when you put this two times, it means women. It means plural. And when you put this 3 times, this means gossip. And when I learned that, when I was learning, because I spent time in China in 2015, 2014, from Christmas 2014 to February 2015, training with a feng shui master and just epically enjoying life. This is some of the stuff that I spotted because I was already doing the etymology work, because I was already feeling that for years before my awakening, years before I knew I was awake, I would feel the words that people were saying, and I would have this example of like knock on wood, and I'd be knocking on wood, even though they would tell me all the time, they'd be like, knock on wood doesn't work like that. And I'd be like, yeah, I can't explain it, I just do it. And I would see my reality, like me gain control over the reality, and me being able to dissolve this crab in a bucket mentality that a lot of people don't realize they were holding, and what the effect that I allowed it back then in my state of empowering myself, of course, but disempowerment at the same time. So through this work, I've gotten to find more and more spells. And the reason why it brings me great joy to talk about this is, first of all, I always have to remind you, the community, my family, what words have you found this week? Like, this is work that we all need to do together. Sound got quiet? Does that get better? Is that better or worse? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Veronique hears me loud and clear. Fix your internet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyways, I'll be honest with you though. The other day I was recording and I happened to like tune back in on my video, and then all of a sudden the sound started echoing, and I didn't tell. That's a good one, Alyssa. I'll pop that up on screen. All of a sudden the sound started echoing, and it sounded terrible. I had to like tune myself out. I was like, shut this off. So when stuff like that happens, I apologize. Technology. The word spoiled. Love it. Yeah, I love it. It's definitely one I found. Hey, Katie. Yeah, somebody's rotten. Exactly. Implying that if somebody's treated well, oh, I spoil you. I spoil you. You're actually saying I rot you. So good call, sister. Yeah, I've found that one in the past also. But yeah, good find. My goal is to get these all somewhere. To get these all somewhere where we can collect them, almost like a who knows, but like almost like a Wikipedia that we can update ourselves, or like in like a 9D urban dictionary, something like that. But yeah, hiatus, going on hiatus. This is like literally, you look at the word and it spells Hades, which is like a form of hell. Obviously, that's hell for. Is that Egyptian? Is that Egyptian pantheon or Greek? Hades. Maybe I think it's actually Greek, but regardless, seeing these connections between the words and finding them and then deciding not to say them has fine-tuned my reality, and I've seen it epically change others' realities. Just when I'd hear them saying something and I'd feel a certain way, and I'd be like, hey, that word to me means this. So maybe just see what happens in your reality if you eliminate, even just temporarily, that word and use this other word, like tremendous instead of awesome, or sovereign, meaning silver rain. Tremendous. I love that because it literally says tree mend us, like nature mends us. Nature puts us back together, which anybody who's ever gone through a trauma knows that firsthand. Can you heal a trauma from inside the house? Yes, you can. But I would say statistically and mathematically, it takes longer. So yeah, wanted to just update for the Galactic update some of the words, add some fun, see what you guys had to add as well, because this is. And let me just check my phone. I'm going to check my other phone just in case there's anything, because like sometimes these are difficult to remember. So I just want to check my notes, see if there's anything I haven't shared with you guys yet. Imaginary. Okay. What do we have? Where's my notebook? There it is. Notes. Quick memo. No, I said that one before, but profound. That's the only one I found recently. Profound. That's the only one that the professional found. The pro found. So good word. Good word. You're calling yourself a professional at finding things. So yeah, without further ado, say hello to Groot. Say hello, Groot. He's waving. All right, and let's pop up the other camera and let's see what's going on. Discern. Yes, we should all discern. All righty. I heard there are many words that have been withheld from humanity, but will be released to us soon. That's one can only hope, Alyssa. One of the words that I have not yet found is to be powerful, but to still be calling more power to the self. Like this is a word we either need to create as humanity, or we need to find it in Japanese or Hindu or Sanskrit or Egyptian, or because all of the words that talk about us having power or having a lot of power, they're limiting in that regard. Like if we are powerful, how do we get more? So like something that says I have in abundance, but more is still coming to me. Almost like picturing the Ace of Cups, that the cup is flowing over, but the cup is growing. That word. Please share it in the comments if you have it yourself. Well, that's a good one, Michael. Heel. To heel, the bottom of the foot. Happy new moon, everybody. Love that, Nicole. I'm popping it up. Oof. Would it have something to do with our connection? Connecting our root to nature. Oof. I love that. Oof. 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 We'll take it. We'll take it. I like that. All right. Balance. Fighting. Mastery. Balancing dramatic forces. Making an offering, and then almost waiting. Anything being possible, things that are bothering us. All righty, let's look. Okay. All righty. So this is the card of Sunday, Monday, halfway through Tuesday in the physical. And then we have Sunday, Monday, halfway through Tuesday in the spiritual, in the energetic category. So we see this card that's the masculine force of the divine feminine, the high priestess, if you will. This being the number 11, and the high priestess being the number 2, number 2 being the number 2, and number 11, 1 plus 1 being 2. So this is one and the same. This is the masculine form of it. So this is basically showing the masculine being the driving force with the feminine to find balance, to cut dramatic forces out of our lives or to notice them, as if this is some sort of warning. So this is basically like a cheat sheet on a test for next week, because this is definitely, to have this dramatic card, to have this card that shows somebody disturbed by something at the bottom of the deck or something that's bothering us. This card represents quarreling and almost banter, playful fighting as well. But it's lined up halfway through Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and halfway through Thursday with this spiritual offering of love. So the way that I'm seeing these 4 cards so far is there's somebody that's possessed, plain and simple, or there's somebody that's bothered by something, or there's somebody that's triggered spiritually, and we know who this is. We can feel this person in our reality. We know what's going on here, or we will figure it out from tomorrow, Monday, halfway through Tuesday. And then we're so loving, we're not fighting with them. We're holding space. But what Spirit wants us to know is obviously the conclusion of this. And what other dimensional versions, just to see this card that represents chaos. It's like, is this the way anymore? Like us just being able to get to this decision, if you will, where it's like, why are we still trying to force the horse, like, to drink the water, so to speak? Like, what is the difference? Like, especially if the person's hurt us time and time again, or has been that lack of loving. Like, why not release this? Because I don't even see any cards of release. Like, this is basically us using our magic to figure it out, because this is like end of the week. It doesn't even show that humanity's come to a conclusion with this. So how great to like catch this during the new moon, to be able to manifest moving past this and dissolving this as a collective, dissolving how we deal with these people that are obviously sad, dealing with these people that are obviously depressed and going through whatever the heck they're going through. To have this card and this card. This card can represent sadness or a lack of money, and then this card definitely represents a dramatic person. Like, this is somebody who likes the brown light, so to speak. So I was just talking about this crabs in a bucket mentality. So just looking at this and saying thank you to the person, maybe releasing them or figuring out what that means to you. How do you, over the course of this next week, when you see this person come forward, regardless of if they're family or a friend, or you've put hours and hours and days into attempting to help this person, do you, or when do you, or what is it going to take for you to draw a line in the sand? What is it going to take for you to cut these weights off your balloon, so to speak? Because it's a form of enabling. We're enabling this person. We're enabling vampiric tendencies with some of this stuff, with some of these people. That's why I love working with these. I don't know if you guys have seen these glow in the dark Yimingzi. Can I make this glow even though it's bright? So it's said that when a kitsune has one of these devices, the kitsune is the fox with the 9 tails, but they can be shown with 3 tails. Can I make this? Can I get out the light? Can you get out the light? You can see it glowing. You can see it glowing. When a kitsune has one of these devices, they no longer need to feed in the way that they used to. They basically are getting this energy from elsewhere. And this is something that's been found in all these forms of lore. That's why I'm fascinated by finally finding these Shiva Lingam, if you will, that glow in the dark. So why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because it's up to us to create some sort of avenue if we find a vampiric tendency within ourselves. If we plan to continue ascending, instead of sitting on a plateau and just saying we're masters, if we plan on continuing to ascend, then we need to be vigilant about how are we reacting with others, how are we treating others, and how are we treating ourselves? Because there's that card that happened to not come up today, but I won't be surprised if it comes up on Patreon for the extended reading, which is do unto others as we want done unto ourselves. And just fighting drama, sadness, card that can represent chaos, and then showing at the end of the week us having to figure this out through our magical mastery. So this isn't a negative reading whatsoever, even though like you're hearing me use these words that we don't necessarily like to hear. This is a reading that Spirit is allowing us to further control our reality by, like I said, drawing the line in the sand, not drawing the line in the sand, or just seeing that what we know, the definition of insanity being doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So it's up to us to put these vampiric forces in our reality and within ourselves, within our mind, within our heart, within our field, and close the buffet. And asking ourselves, how do we do that? Deciding to ourselves, what is it that we're going to do, and the belief structure of how we manifest that, how we turn this force of lack into basically flipping this into this cup that flows over and flows over and flows over, so we can help thousands of people and start these dharmano effects, if you will, because dharma being the opposite of karma, being able to make an effect with a complete stranger instead of trying to help whoever this person is. Like I said, pay attention Sunday, even tonight, pay attention Sunday, Monday, halfway through Tuesday, and who's making your heart race? Who's trying to trigger you or is triggering you? It is not bad if you become triggered. It's not bad. It's bad if we continue to do this without attempting to improve, without admitting to ourselves we did something wrong. That to me is wrong. You getting triggered is we're in these human suits still, and we're still in this process of ascending. We can't just say, oh, we're in 5D now, we made it. We can't, because it's, first of all, I believe that we're above 5/5 density, and I also just know this within myself, regardless of what your belief structure is. But we have to keep ascending. Like I said, we cannot say we're masters when you know, and I know, and I'm not saying this like I'm a master. Like you, anybody you're watching online, any of these gurus, anybody who's saying they're in a state of mastery, you wouldn't be looking at them. They wouldn't still be in physical form in your reality if they're at mastery and you're not. That's my firm belief structure. They have work to do. So anybody telling you that they don't have work to do, look at that. Because there's a lot of things with this, like these spiritual codes and these things that we're figuring out together. And, you know, sometimes people say, oh, that's a cult. Oh, these people are in a cult. That's a cult. And it's just like, that's this way that they're trying to trigger people into not seeking basically philosophy in general, and you finding your philosophies and you finding your questions that you ask these theories. Because Theo, once again, whenever we get to the word Theo, when we get to Theo, this is the old name of God. Whenever, like, you literally just look up the definition of the name Theo, it just says 3 letters. It says God. And that's why, like, theology is the study of God, and a lot of the great words have that in there. One of my favorites is, just to go back to the beginning really quick before we tune out from all this, and I see you guys very, very soon if you're watching the extended reading, enthusiasm. I love this word because it says entheos. This is from Greek. It says entheos, to have God within. So this is actually saying, like, our excitement. It's not just something like childish. It's God. It is God. So following that excitement is why sometimes things are so much easier to do. Or when you first start that job, everything's thriving. And then when you start to dislike the job, you feel like you're struggling to get back to that point of how successful you were at achieving and doing this job, whatever the job is, even if it's not a job. Catherine says 44 peeps and only 18 likes. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, family? Okay. Support the community and support Galactic Tarot by gently caressing the like button. Catherine, I love you so much. By the way, Catherine, woo, did you do this on purpose? Catherine, did you do that on purpose? Love you so much. Love you so much. So yeah, and also do the things that make the dings. Tap that bell button after you hit the subscribe button so you'll be alerted when I go live. Also, if you're not subscribed when I do free readings, these speed readings, these free readings, when we do them, which happens from people subscribing, you won't be able to even see your comments in the live if you're not subscribed. So share out the channel, share out the reading. SedonaStarseed.com if you're interested in coming out to Sedona, meeting the family, building community, seeing that New Earth does exist. It does exist. SedonaStarseed.com. We got Matt Kahn, everybody. Matt Kahn, cover of Forbes magazine. Exciting stuff. CrystalCurrent.com for your energy tools. GalacticTarot.com to book a reading with your brother that you're looking at right here. Yes, I'm your brother. I love you. Patrons, I will see you very, 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 very soon. This is not something to worry about, by the way. Just final recap about the cards. This is about us being able to control our reality, because certain aspects of our reality, it's believed that we can't control these things. We say this is how it is because it is that way. But this is what humanity is learning at this point, being at this epic place in evolution. So sit with this, manifest, my family, manifest, but with vigilance. And I love you all so much. From the bottom of my heart, top of my heart, front of my heart, back of my heart, all throughout time and space, on all dimensions. Love you so much. Cheers. See you soon.